Okay, I want to see how. Yeah, that's working a lot better. Have you got any sound yet? Okay, I want to. Okay. Okay, I got sound now. Again, we're working with that like 21-second delay. Okay, I want to. Okay. Okay, I got sound now. Again, we're working with that like 21-second delay. Okay, now I'm talking now, and you'll be able to hear it as an echo when it comes through the phone. Okay, I want to. Okay. Okay, I got sound now. Again, we're working with that like 21-second delay. Okay, now I'm talking now, and you'll be able to hear it as an echo when it comes through the phone. Okay. Okay, I guess I'm okay, we're back. I'm live, kind of, with about a 21-second delay. I've actually timed it out and done different things to check and see how far of a delay it is. From the time I speak until you guys hear it, there's about a 21-second delay. That's why a lot of times comments don't get replied to in a reasonable time or right away. Is the background sound a lot better at this point? I'm hoping. I'm going to start from scratch. Mayang buntag, mayang hapon, mayang gabi y'all. Today's is interesting. The sound glitch at the very beginning, this is my bad, and I need checklists because I forgot to turn on the microphone, which this microphone's a powered microphone, and so I need to turn on a power supply over there. It comes through, but extremely weakly without it. With it, it comes through very nicely. Without the power supply, if you're right on top of it, it comes out great. If you're more than 3 inches away, it doesn't pick up enough. And it's got a 48 volt power phantom power supply because of it. But anyhow, I'm actually running a little bit late today. That I am trying to find a media control panel for Streamlabs OBS. The only way you can play media in Streamlabs is just for a continuous loop playing, and that's useful for a lot of things. But when I want to share a video clip or something like that, it doesn't work well. And I'd like to start sharing some more of the drone footage and some of the outtakes and stuff like that that didn't quite make final edit on a video that gets posted, but that'd be kind of cool to share with bonus perk. And kind of a bonus for bearing with me and watching all these friggin' live streams. And you guys have no idea how much I truly do appreciate that part. But yeah, I got some drone footage today that I'm going to share here in a minute. I thought it was in screen and it's not. I also got, where can you see? You can't see it. It's from Amazon, honest, for real. You can kind of see the label on that one. But I got a package from Amazon from the U.S. I'm actually doing a video on it. I'm gonna kind of add in an unboxing video, but also a video, include the arrival on the video to give people an idea on how long it may take to get stuff. Because unlike Amazon in the U.S., it's definitely not overnight. And that's a huge reason why I'm an Amazon Prime subscriber there. There's a lot of stuff that I can order at 8 in the morning and have it there by 5 that afternoon or earlier. There's a whole lot of stuff I can order at 8 in the morning and have it there by the next morning. And there's some stuff that takes a few days to get there, but the bulk of it is there within 24 hours. Papa was immensely impressed by how quickly Amazon deliveries came through in the U.S. Ordering stuff here from Lazada, it can take literally a month to get stuff. That we've got stuff that, one item in particular, that it's still up in Metro Manila area. I forgot the exact place. Cindy may remember the name of the place, but it's still up there in a warehouse waiting to come here. And it's been almost 6 weeks. I've got some other stuff that has been almost a month, 3-4 weeks. And they're still in customs. So yeah, the overnight deliveries is not something that's done here. I did get, this came in fairly quickly. My old headset, it finally died and the connection wasn't the greatest. And so I got a nice Logitech gaming headset, so it had the mic. There you go. So it has the microphone in it. It's got the standard, I hope this doesn't make a whole big sound. Oh, cool. It's got the standard 3/8 jack. And then included in the box, you're kind of getting a double unboxing here. Uh-oh. Oh, there they are. Included in the box, there we go. Is the USB splitter to go into your computer. A splitter to go into a standard USB splitter. Oh, I thought there was another cable in here too. I guess not. That or I lost it, one of the two. But yeah, I was very, very happy and impressed with this. I called and talked with my son the other night back in Phoenix, and he actually had me move the mic away from my mouth, that it was loud enough that it was a little bit too loud. And sadly, the entire instructions are in Chinese. But my old headset actually did hold up for quite a while. It was really good. And it's been about 3 years, 4 years now, and it was not a great set. Even then, even new, it wasn't a great set. But yeah, it's a more standard set, and it's finally, I don't know how well you can see it, but It's finally falling apart, and the pieces are coming off. The microphone, this is all the microphone that it has, and it doesn't pick up the best anymore. Oh, okay. I don't know if you can read it, but it's a JVC. But like I say, it's an older set that I got that. I got that here in the Philippines. 2019? I think in 2019 is when I got that. Uh, and like I say, it's worked great ever since. And the thing I liked for it, because it was on the 3.5 jack, I could use it for my phone or the computer. And again, with this, with the standard plug, that I can use it on either. And this one also has custom adapters so that it can be used either place. And the thing I like about it is it's got adapters that are made specifically to work with this. You're not getting aftermarket adapters that you need to hope that they work, and some do, some don't. I went through a couple different USB adapters, and most of the USB adapters split, which, good, bad, or indifferent, it just is. But yeah, that I'm hoping to be able to see more than just one viewer. I'm worried that because I was so late today, I may not get more than one viewer. But if that happens, that happens. I'll live with it. That's my fault, and it definitely makes me more careful to be proactive in getting better organized and on here on time. Now I'm trying to do something in the background to see how well if this works. That yeah, I'm actually checking out Streamlabs dashboard online too while I'm in the background. Because yeah, I still can't chat on here for some reason. I don't get why. I need to figure that one out. That's more stuff here I got to figure out. I got way too many things I need to figure out all at the same time. I was hoping that the Streamlabs was going to have a little bit better viewer count. There we go. I doubt that I would ever want to do a chat. I'll set it up just in case. But yeah, sadly, I think Cindy is the only one watching today, but I'm not entirely sure. So we'll keep on plodding along and see what happens. I didn't send out any messages today. That I got a late enough start that I didn't send out anything that I was going to be doing this, and that may have screwed me up too. If it did, it did. I'm not terribly worried about it. It would be nice to be able to, like some of these bigger live streamers, log on and, have 300 people show up, and I'd be happy with 4 or 5 that do show up regularly to show up, and I get 4 or 5, and that is friggin' awesome for me, and you people have no idea how much it means to me to keep going and doing these things. For a really small audience, and it has the benefit of building a community within people too. And I realize these office live streams are probably pretty boring to watch too. So, and that's why I try to do things like drone footage and unboxing videos and stuff like that to help make them more watchable. But at the same time, I definitely don't try to do that immediately after logging in, because of knowing that there's been a couple times I was ready to log off on an office live stream here real quick here recently, that no one was watching, no one was commenting, and all of a sudden I started getting 1 or 2 that were coming in, and then I got 4 or 5, and I wound up continuing actually a little bit over the hour that I had originally intended to do. And I think a lot of people have realized that I will stay on for about an hour whether or not there's anybody, so even if they're running late or not able to get to it as quickly as they would like, that they will still come in even late into it. Because of that, any of the unboxing and stuff like that would definitely wait until probably the 30-minute mark, just to ensure people that were running late do manage to get here. Oh, okay. I got a message that my Remitly transfer is complete now. It took me a second to remember what Remitly transfer I made, so, because I think Cindy made that one, so that I knew about it, but I just didn't remember doing it. But after seeing who and how much, it rung some bells. And I realize these live streams are not the greatest, that I got. I mean, you're constantly scratching my face and crap like that, and that's not great stage presence, and I need to work a lot more on getting better on like that. A lot of it, like today, is just spontaneous, off the top of my head topics while I'm waiting for people to come by through here to see what's going on. I'm not sure how I can show this. I think I know how to do it. I think. I'm not entirely sure. That I actually saw something today that'd be kind of a neat topic to talk about briefly. But I don't see where my app is, my program. There we go. I thought I had it stuck up here a little bit better than this. Oh. Oh, it's been a while since I've used Viber. That I need to relink my computer with my Viber account. That you're gonna have to give me a second here. There we go. See, this is why I try to have this stuff set up in the background before you guys ever come in here, so that you don't have to deal with me. Okay. You don't have to deal with me doing this stuff. But this is kind of an impromptu topic, so that I wasn't prepared for this one at all. So I'm actually going to have to do a few different things here, so you'll really have to bear with me on this one. But while it's doing that, I could be doing this. That I'm actually there we go. I'm actually adding a new scene into my scene sources here. And I'm going to have to see how well I can do this. And whether or not it will let me do this. Okay, it will. I'm also trying to put the not repeat the same mistake I made the other day, and make sure that I've got a audio source in there as well, that you people will have to let me know if I lost audio. I shouldn't have. I remember to include the audio source today. There you go. Okay. Now, this was actually kind of cool. Yeah, I subscribe on Viber to a bunch of different groups. And I actually sent this one to a friend of ours. Oh, that's very cool. I'll have to share that one later. Come on, where is it? This never fails when you're actually trying to find something. Here it is, this one. Oh. This one is actually kind of cool. They're actually wanting you to not only do your vaccination cards, but they're wanting you to put them on your wear them around your neck. That they want you to wear them like you would an ID badge. And this one is, to me, kind of mind-blowing. They don't name the official, and I think that's probably just as well for his health and safety. But yeah, they're wanting you to wear them like an ID badge. We yesterday, Cindy and I actually saw a few people around town. That we had to go out for a few different things and get some stuff done yesterday, and we actually saw a few people. And Cindy made comment about it that she thought it was kind of funny that people were wearing their quarantine pass around like they would an ID badge. And here, lo and behold, that yeah, that the government's actually encouraging that. Translation, if you are vaccinated, you should wear the vaccination card when you go out. Why? When going to establishments, you will be asked, are you vaccinated? How will someone know if you don't wear it? And you won't be bothered by the police, barangay personnel who keep asking you where your vaccination card is if you're already wearing it. Yeah, that this is this is getting kind of crazy, and I kind of snicker a little bit because it was not too long ago that well, it was a while ago, but when that the Jews in Germany had to start wearing the little patches on their chest that they were Jewish in public. Now you're demanding that people start wearing these vaccination cards around like they did the Star of David on their outside. And that's there was a couple places that we've been to that I think it was KFC in Ayala that you had to present a vaccination card to get seated, but that was a week or so ago. That wasn't yesterday. We just didn't go back to that KFC for a couple of reasons. I had a big hankering for pizza anyhow. That let me get switched back over here. But yeah, that's kind of the neat thing to this program is I can get in and do stuff like that fairly quickly and easily, especially, and I can get the stuff set up in advance to do that. Look at that transition. There we go. That you can see here that what I actually see, and that I've got different scenes that I can have set up in advance, where I just set up that Viber window, the camera, the screen recording here that you're seeing. And why I keep the screen recording up, this is actually how I do the videos until I get something better to give media controls. That's my main way of doing the videos on this, because that way I can use the video player that I've got and call up different videos and just use that video player. My computer is getting bogged down and getting lagging badly because I'm getting way too much stuff going on. And you see here, I've got the full controls to where I can do whatever I need to with it and do skipping to where I want to be with it. And the media player that's built into Streamlabs, I don't have that functionality. that there is a plugin for OBS that I can use. I don't know if I can use that particular plugin on this Streamlabs OBS, or if if it'll bog down and screw things up. If it does, I'm going to have to figure something else out. If it doesn't, that may be a better way to control these videos, because that way I see the controls here, but you just see the video. And so that's a good way to do a workaround for not having controls in Streamlabs, and that's kind of a common problem with a lot of people. That Streamlabs OBS is an overlay on OBS. OBS is Open Broadcast Streaming. Yeah, Open Broadcast Streaming or Open Broadcast Service software or something like that. It's a type of software that they refer to as open source, that the whoever wrote it, that they include enough code is enough of the computer code that people can do plugins, that people can do overlays, that there's different ways you can work around it. And OBS is a great software. It does a really good job of mimicking, very expensive, very high-end broadcasting software, and it does so in a user-friendly manner, to the point where most people can do pretty decent live streaming stuff with that, or even screen recordings on it, and have a lot of functionality that they can use. It doesn't have some of the huge steep learning curves that some of this more professional stuff would have. Hey there, Mr. Daniel, how you doing? We did finally get someone to make a comment. Yeah, I didn't put out my invites this morning. My apologies for that. That I got running behind trying to get yet again a little bit better setup for some video that I wanted to share today. I was giving her a second to reply to that comment. She's actually doing pretty well. We went to the doctor's yesterday, and we actually had a oh, I've got it. I'm going to do this one again hugely brute force, because I really don't want to have to start downloading and all that stuff. It's not great recording. I just used my phone to do this real quick. But that's Pumpkin's Heartbeat. As well as a bunch of office noises. Yeah, I've actually got an app for that. Dolby does an app that you can use your phone as an audio recorder. So I did that, and I haven't downloaded it to the computer yet. I need to get it downloaded, but I need to get a bunch of stuff off the phone. The phone's getting pretty well bogged down too. But yeah, I was rather happy on hearing that. That was kind of a cool thing. Uh, I I actually thought about getting a similar setup, and that way I could send it directly into an audio file. Yeah, I'm Mr. Gadget Man. There's an app for that somewhere. You just got to find it. Uh, and I actually do use this in videos. Instead of having a separate, and a lot of people do, that they'll have a separate audio recorder, so that way they can have a lapel mic or something like that. And I've looked at them. You can get them for 100, 150 bucks if they're not horribly expensive, but they're not cheap either. And the Dolby app was completely free, and I've used the audio files like this in some of the videos that I've done. That you get a lot cleaner audio because of having a better mic, and by being able to select a type of mic for what you're doing. Like the fan that's in the background, that you can really do a lot by selecting a better mic to go into that. So yeah, instead of going out and spending 150 bucks to get an audio recorder, I just downloaded an app that works well. Is it perfect? By no stretch of the imagination is it perfect, but it does a really good job. And then syncing them up in Premiere isn't terribly hard. Matter of fact, there's even a widget to do that for you. And it's recorded at a similar speed as what's on most videos. So, because that does sometimes run into a bit of an issue if you're recording at a different frame rate. But the audio track is typically laid down differently than the video. So, what was I going to do? Oh, Daniel. I took some really cool video today that you're going to have to give me just half a second here. You may like this one. I actually did some drone work going out and checking out that new subdivision. Oh, you see, here's the other advantage of having the controls. I would like a scrub control. I finally did figure out where this rock cut is. That there's a brand new subdivision going in up here, and that I am 98% certain that's where it is, and I'm gonna try and take a Rusi ride here sometime in the next week or so and go check it out and verify that's what it is. But it looks like for a new subdivision. But it's a very high-end subdivision. It's Beverly Hills type subdivision. Now, this is that one that's going in behind us where they're doing the site prep work for it. And in just a second, you'll see me fly out to the end of it. Right now, I am directly above the compound at about 100 feet. I might be at 70 feet at this one. Somewhere in here, I came into something that I was kind of nervous about, and so I bumped it up a little bit higher. But yeah, you can see this subdivision goes way further back than I ever thought it did. I was giving her a second to reply to that comment. Oh, over on this side is that road. This is that road that goes just on the outside of our compound. Now, I didn't see it on the camera originally, but there's something in here that I kind of like to go back and check out. That the size of this is telling me it's going to be a decent sized. I had somebody ask if it was going to be for a field, that wondering if it was going to be for like farming, and I couldn't completely dismiss that if it wasn't for this pond area that they put in, and they left up too many trees if it was going to be for farming. But I'm not entirely sure on the access, where the access roads and such are going to be on this. Because I can't picture them using the Barangay Road that's out back here as access, just because it's a dirt road. But there again, I did see the Department of Public Works and Services out there doing some road repairs. So they might be, upgrading the road to be able to use it like that. Now the compound is down in this area. That this is heading out towards that Arduterte Street. And this is looking back towards where that rock cut, where the church and all that is. That's kind of giving you a little bit of an idea on the scale of it, how big it is. That they should be able to fit, because right here's the compound. So I gotta head back to the compound here in just a second. Yeah, any comments that you're doing, I see on my phone right now. This is the Guadalupe River, not the cleanest river in the world. That I forgot to format the card before I took off, and here in just a couple minutes, about a minute 30 seconds, the video just stops. I got a notice on the controller that the card was full, and it just ended. But yesterday, during the walking live stream, coming up here, you'll be able to see where I was actually walking and how close it is to the actual compound. Right here is the bridge that I started on. Here is that building that they're currently constructing. And over here is those side streets that I walked down. That construction yard with a domed top is right here. And if I would have flown over there, I was actually losing signal. And that's part of the problem in trying to fly from within Township. Because it's got, two-story buildings right there and so close together, signal's not the greatest and you lose signal fairly quickly. Yeah, right here where that little white sign is where we go and do our laundry. And right here's our compound. You can see the roof lines that go that way. I'm flying back and I do get a little bit more. My intent was to come back and go up the river or go down the river, one of the two. The sun was right behind me, so I needed to stay facing away from the sun for exposure issues. Right here you can see the river and the path it takes by the brush, by the trees. And I was going to try and see how far I could fly up the river before I ran out of battery. There you go. You can see a good view of the river right here. And I think it was here that I got the message that the card was almost full. And I only had like 10 seconds left on video. I didn't realize that I was so close. I confused myself. I thought this building was the compound, and it's not. It's the North Sinks-On Flats across the street. And the video actually runs out right there. Oops. There we go. But yeah, that was my drone footage for the day. I'm going to try and get that edited in here in the next day or two, see if I can do something with the color corrections and take out some of that haze that was in the background. I'm not sure if it's a dirty lens or if it's just it's that hazy out. I need to clean the lens. I'm going to see about putting a polarized filter onto that. I need to find my filters for the drone. I think I know where they are. They should be in the bag right there. And I think I've got a polarized filter that I got filters for it a while ago. That I got a decent set of Polar Pro filters a while ago. I use them periodically, but to be bluntly honest, I still use auto settings enough that the filters don't do a lot of help on them in auto settings. Okay, I doubt you're going to be able to see this. I'm going to give it a shot. I can't get it to focus. I've got a CPL, circular polarizer lens for the drone. And the thing I like on these, again, you're not going to be able to see this. I don't know why I'm trying to show it yet again. You can't see it, but the ND filters are actually polarized as well. So that's a huge help because oh no. ND8? Okay, only the 8 and 16. I've got just I got just a standard circular polarized, an 8 and a 16 that are polarized. Mayang Buntak, or Mayang Gabi, Jojo. And then I've got an 8, 16, and 32 that are not polarized. But yeah, in the mornings when I'm doing these, I need to start doing the polarized lenses for a couple of reasons. Part of it is to help cut down on that haze. I'm glad you were able to see the footage. That it's actually kind of cool, and I like I say that I like doing things like that on these office live streams to help break stuff up. And now that I do have a couple extra people here, I made a comment a while ago that I got an Amazon package from the US and that I was going to do a live unboxing. So that I've got at least 2 people here, I'm going to do a live unboxing. That I put in an order about a month ago on Amazon. I've started a video for it, but wanted to get it so that I could give an idea how long it was going to take to get delivered. Now, there we go. Yes, I know I'm showing my address on live streaming. They had to get the correct address because the correct address wasn't correct enough, and I don't quite get that. Because the only thing difference on this is that we put Unit B, Toad Chip Compound, Sing Song Village, Guadalupe, Cebu, and then across from North Sing Song Flats. And on the original one, it's the Toad Chip Compound, Unit B, Cebu City. So why they needed to be across Sing Song Flats and in Guadalupe, Cebu City was such a huge difference, I have no idea, because where it was actually stuck is in Manila, not here in Cebu. If they would have got it here to Cebu, they would have, the local people would have known where it went. Because yeah, the local driver had no problem finding the place. We tried to get him to deliver it today because we were at the doctor's when it happened. My Leatherman, I love this thing. I actually had to buy one here. There's a story in that one. And yes, if I don't have an app for it, I got a device for it. Yeah, there ain't nothing else in here. And this is kind of making me worried because there's supposed to be 2 of these things. Oh, okay. There's 2 in the box. The next time I do one of these unboxings on here, on a live stream, I need to have a second camera set up, and I've got the software to do it with this. Yeah, nothing else in there. Yeah, they're just the USB micro ports. And I'm hoping there's a little bit of a charge on this. Oh, I like this. Okay, I like this, that I've got one of the Harbor Freight versions of these that turned up missing in the move, and I was not happy. But it did, and it is what it is. Oh, I kind of like that. The thumb wheel is the on-off as well as the brightness level. Where can I? I'm trying not to screw with the brightness on the... There we go. That may be how I can do it. That they actually turn pretty bright. I've got the Harbor Freight version of this that I really loved because it was so bright. And it's even got an LED battery meter on the back. I do like that. But the Harbor Freight version only bends to about here or here. Oh, that's cool. There's actually a light on the end that looks to be pretty bright. There we go. Yeah, this actually looks to be pretty bright. So you can see how bright it is back there. Yeah, I don't know how well that's actually going to show through, but I'm happy. The one really cool thing, and I kind of like this a little bit over the Harbor Freight version, is this has got one that's adjustable. But it's magnetic. And like I say, I kind of like this because it's adjustable on that. So that as well as being adjustable here, you can do that. It's a fairly strong magnet. And then this one also has a loop that you can hang it from. So I was very happy with that. And then on top of it, like I said, the Harbor Freight one only collapses to that. Generally, you have to leave it like this. The fact you do have a little bit of control over it is nice. But this one I liked because it folds in half. So it's actually something fairly compact. Going back to Mr. Gadget, man, I got gadgets for everything. Okay, this is a 13-inch ruler. That it goes from 1 to 13 at the end of it. So it'll give you an idea of the scaling. So folded, it's only about 8 inches long. It's only about 8 inches folded. So it's actually a pretty cool little light. I do like these. And this was actually way less expensive than the one for Harbor Freight even. The Harbor Freight version, it is metal. I do like that. It is a solid metal one. It's a little bit harder to break. I have seen them break at the hinges. I read reviews that they broke at the hinges, the Harbor Freight version. I've read some reviews that these have broken at the hinges, which it just a weak point in it. But yeah, I got 2 of these. Had them delivered, and it wasn't horribly expensive. And JoJo, wow. Back in the States, I love them for doing automotive work because you can because the magnetic, you can do the magnetic base, and then, you know, like I say, the Harbor Freight version, you can adjust a little bit. This one looks to be really adjustable on how much you can move that light. Yeah, there's an app for that. I got a budgeting app that the advantage to this is I can go back in and look stuff up real quickly. I can even search. I need to do a video on this stupid app. That I like it a lot. I've had it for years. When I find a really good app, I tend to stick with it. I know I didn't order it that long ago. Oh! Okay. I ordered this. August 30th. The light and shipping, the 2 light set shipped to the Philippines was $48. I think I could have found them a little bit cheaper here, but I'm not sure. I think I did go through and do some searching, but I was good for it, and I wanted to experiment how long it was going to take to get here and what there was to it. Like I say, with the address, there was a slight glitch, and I think that was the shipping company just trying to cover their own tail for not getting it here to Cebu quicker, because there are some stuff that through Lazada even is having issues getting it here to Cebu for some reason. Some of the stuff comes into Cebu fine, so I don't know. But even so, the 30th of August to the 22nd of September, less than 30 days shipping, because the original estimate was October 4th that they were planning on getting in here next week. If they would have had it, been on the ball and got it here, or at least not put it as out for delivery for 3 days in a row, it would have been perfectly fine, and I wouldn't have had a problem. But a week ago, they had it posted as out for delivery, and that's kind of what confused me. Jojo Cracker, I will make a post on our Facebook page that gives a link to that particular item that we got on Facebook. On Amazon. I am not an Amazon affiliate. I don't get a dime out of it. It's just something kind of cool that I like, and I will do a decent review on them as in one of the comment section after I've had them for a week or two. I ran across another video that talked about Amazon delivering to the Philippines. Didn't realize they did. Since then, I've actually looked. A lot of things I can find cheaper here when you figure in shipping. Some things, the lights were slightly cheaper. I am 99% certain I did the research. To get a pair of these here would have been about $50, $55. That it would have been slightly more. But there are a few things that you can get cheaper from Amazon shipped here than you can buying it here. There is some things that if you search it better, you can find it better locally than you can get it shipped. But the other day we were talking about it, the Western Digital drives, and I did need to go back and check that one. Originally, it looked like it was going to be about $10 cheaper to get it shipped here. I've since found a couple that I'm a little questioning about, but they're cheaper here. That they're about the same price, slightly cheaper here. but the ones I came across have 0 ratings for the store and anything else. So I'm a little hedgy about buying something like that. We're kind of looking for a computer for my niece, Cindy's niece. Not well, yeah, she's my niece because we're married. But anyways, that she is in her last semester of high school and is going to be starting college next year for teaching. And so she's basically using a tablet to do her modules and crap like that. We talked with my son. Her and my son talk a little bit. And he said that he'd like to help and chip in too. That we're going to get her a computer. And so we're doing some searching on that. And I did. I actually looked on Amazon to have one and have it shipped here. What it is or why or anything like that, I don't quite understand. I think it has something to do with going over that $200 mark, 10,000 peso mark. But the shipping fees for these are almost $1,000 in addition to the computer. And I did notice that because I was looking at getting her a camera. And the camera was more expensive. The shipping was more expensive than the camera. But there again, when we first got married, before I knew anything about this and got suckered into doing this, not by her, but by my idiocy, I shipped an inexpensive engagement ring. I'm trying to avoid using the word cheap. It was about $90. And it wound up costing almost $200 to get the stupid thing shipped. And so Cindy felt really bad about me doing that. But I learned a very valuable lesson. Most things don't ship here by UPS or such. That there are some things, and I later found out jewelry is one of those things that trips the red flags for import duties. And import duties can be over 100% of the value of the item. So, yeah, I like I said, I don't know if that's the reason why shipping a computer here is so insane or what. But when I talked to my son, I explained to him about that because he wanted to get her a very, very nice high-end computer at this point. And computers are notoriously more expensive here, about 15 to 20% more expensive here to get an identical computer back in the States. And so we plan on being back here in January of 2023. Let me finish this thought, Jojo, and I'll get back to that comment. I did. And so what we would do is we would just bring a much better computer for her. So basically she'd use a decent computer for about a year, and then we'd give her, a gift of another computer, a very good computer that'll last her throughout college. Jojo. Excuse me. I actually looked into that. I've got a 1976 MG Midget that I enjoy. It's a fun little car. I've been doing work on it back in the States. Sadly, I haven't done a whole lot of work to it back in the States. But I figured it would work perfect for this area. I don't know if you know what MG Midgets are, but they're a cool little car. And I'm trying to find a picture of it here. I know I had pictures of it. But I actually looked into what it would take to get that stupid thing shipped here. And it was beyond insane expensive to get that shipped. Uh, I don't see it. Gosh dang it. I got a Facebook message from uh, Steve. This is our Philippines, showing me Hito, the fish, the I don't see. Gosh dang it! I hate when I do this. I've got a picture of the midget, and I'm just not seeing it. Actually, getting the car shipped here isn't terribly expensive. It was way more affordable than I would expect. And the MG Midget, through mail order, I can get pretty much every part in there with the exception of the block and the bell housing for the transmission. So as far as getting parts for it, that isn't an issue. They would just have to be shipped. Where it comes in is twofold in that particular instance. One is the taxes. The taxes on something like that are worth up to 3 times what the value of the vehicle is. And then the other issue is getting it registered here. If you've ever noticed that they've got a lot of old beat up cars here, but they don't have a lot of old classic cars here. And part of that is just legalities. One of the forums that I'm on, I actually talked with them, and I talked with a guy that had a 69 Charger that he shipped here and has been 8 years trying to legally get it registered. And he just said, if he would have known what he was going to go through doing that, he would have never shipped it here. And he doesn't dare drive it, without with it being that flashy of a car. He doesn't dare drive it without it being properly registered and everything else. So, but yeah, that I would love to get that midget here, and think it would be a great car for the Philippines. The little convertible like that, yeah, that thing would be stinking outstanding, and that I would love to have that. But sadly, it's just not realistic or feasible to get it here. Yeah, somewhere I've got a picture of me in it and driving it. And I'm just not seeing it because I got it just before I met Cindy. And my intent, and like a lot of things, intent and reality, the road to hell being paved with good intentions and all that good brat. yeah, my intent was to do a frame off. And I had a 63 Chevy panel truck that I had redone as a rat rod that I really liked. And okay, there you go, kind of. Okay, I need to go to here. Here it is. You can see it in the background. That it's a 1976 MG Midget. My intent, and again, like I say, road to hell, good intentions, all that good rot, was to do a frame off and just do a complete rebuild because the body is in perfect shape. But after meeting Cindy, I knew that I was going to wind up spending a bunch of money getting her here. So I didn't want to wind up having a bunch of money put into the having a bunch of money put into it that I knew I was going to be needing for visa fees. And the other thing is I just didn't have a whole lot of time at that point with trying to get everything done. And I had gotten it just before I met Cindy. And so basically, you know, long story short, originally because of visa fees and expenses, it kind of took a back burner. When she got there, by the time I came here and got everything, and you know, I wound up going through the money that I had sold the panel truck for, that you know, that we were living on my income alone. So again, it kind of stayed on that back burner. And in November of the year she got there, before she even got an official green card yet, is when I tore up my back and began that frickin' fiasco. And went on light duty and then workers' comp and all that good garbage. And so at that point, she was having a decent job and things were moving along a lot better. But I didn't dare work on it because of still being on workers' comp and all that fun stuff. And having an open workers' comp claim for a back injury. And so it's sat for almost 6 years now. That last year, after it sat for about 5, that I went out and tried to work on it, and that front bumper literally is about ankle height. The front fender on that thing is knee height or below. That they are a tiny car. That they're a ton of fun to drive. I used to own one back in the 80s, just after they went off the market, and those things are about as nimble as a skateboard. I had a 63 panel truck. This is where I'm kind of kicking myself. All of the photos I've got of stuff like that are back in Phoenix on a hard drive. I thought about setting that hard drive up as a server setup and didn't for a couple of reasons. But so I don't have access to a lot of the photos that I have of stuff like that. I need to go find some. But yeah, it was an old 63 Chevy panel van. That it was a lot of fun to play with that. And I did it as a rat rod. And again, I lucked into it for a next to nothing price. It got a lot of stuff to put into it. did a lot to it, and a guy made me an offer I couldn't refuse, and so I sold it. So I sold it to him, and still have a few pieces parts for it that he just didn't want. Like I've got a manifold, dual carb manifold that he just didn't want. That I was setting it up more as a gasser, and I was keeping the original Blue Flame, that 235 Blue Flame that they had. But I was going to put a pair of single barrel carburetors on it, just as a goof. And he didn't want those because again, I picked up the hey, Mr. David Brown, how you doing today? Yeah, we're actually extending quite long on today's. I got a real late start though today as well too. So yeah, the actual panel truck, not the Suburban, that it didn't have any windows behind the driver's doors, the front doors, except the back barn door windows. And because it was a panel truck, it had barn doors. It did not have the tailgate style that the Suburban would. But yeah, it was an outstanding little truck, and loved playing with it, loved working on it. It had a freaking engine compartment in there you could literally stand inside of. Yeah, it was a great truck to work on. But after I got done with that, like I say, another guy that I used to work with, he does a lot of stuff like that, and he does a lot of trading. That he's a big time horse trader, and he goes to a lot of these auto shows frequently, and has got a nice trailer set up that he likes taking around to it, and wanted something that was really cool to take. And when he took a look at it and saw that everything in it was thinking pristine condition, that's part of the reason why I bought it. Nobody cut into the dash. It still had the original motor and tranny. It still had the original 3-speed tranny to it, and had the original 230 or 235, I forget which, inline 6. But yeah, he bought it, and he did some work to it, and liked the rat rod to it because of what he was doing. And so he made that as the tow vehicle for his the little side gig he did, trading parts. And so he takes it around to the different swap meets. And I think he's since put an automatic transmission in it. But he's still got the original 6 in it and everything else. He's got a period correct auto transmission to it. And it's actually a pretty cool little truck. He actually did similar to what I did with Sunshine, and put the City of Phoenix logo on it. But to avoid any problems, he did a period correct City of Phoenix logo on the side of the doors. And he didn't put departments or anything like that, so that there's not any chance of it being confused. So, and again, it's an old enough vehicle that even the city doesn't have stuff that old that it is still in service. But the MG, my son is talking about wanting to try and build it, rebuild it, or build it, or do something with it. When we go back, I'm thinking about trying to get it up and running at this point. I believe I've got everything. I may wind up having to take it down and have the block in the head redressed. It had I didn't know when I got it. It had a cracked head gasket. Not a cracked head, but just a gasket. And so it had overheating problems and everything else. And I wound up taking off the heads before everything went south, and it wound up getting set. And my bad in not just putting the heads back on and just kind of lightly tacking them down to keep them from rusting. But anyway, they've got a little bit of surface rust. I may just try and take and carefully brush it and vacuum it. I may try and carefully hone and vacuum the cylinders and see if I can see what I can do with that. Because otherwise, I got to pull the engine, which may not be a bad idea. But I'd have to pull the engine and basically do a complete rebuild, which again may not be a bad idea and kind of what I was originally planning anyhow. I'm out of coffee. I'm out of water. We've actually been at this for an hour and a half. I appreciate you guys coming on. Daniel, or David, I'm sorry. If you go back and look at about the 1 hour mark, or about the 45-minute mark, I did some video on the drone of that subdivision that's going in behind us. You can see a little bit better on that. And I also did an unboxing of a couple of lights that we got and explained a little bit more about those. And then the topic kind of went into cars, which is kind of what I like about these little topics like this, is everything does go. All right, try me, David. I actually love the old left-hand drive cars like that, or the old right-hand drives. I like unique vehicles, and the right-hand drive is really unique in the U.S. I would give my eye teeth to get a period correct right-hand drive British model or Australian model MG. Preferably the midget. I love the midget. Those things are cool. That they are one of the most simple sports cars ever. I've had both with postal trucks. I've had two of the right-hand drive vehicles that I've driven around, that I've owned and played with. I thought really hard, and I can get the parts for them. I thought really hard about turning the old postal truck back into a 4x4, and I've seen people do it. The hardest part is getting the front transaxle that's in the right-hand drive. It's possible, but they're kind of hard to get, because you got to get an overseas Holden. I think I've seen that. I think I've seen one of those. And if it's a Mini, there's probably a really good chance I've at least seen one or looked at one on the internet. The MG. I love the mini cars. I love the micro cars. The U.S. used to do a few over the years. But the old micro cars, the old mini cars in the Europe, I think are the most fascinating little vehicles ever. I would love to get a few of them and see about trying to restore some of them, but they're such orphans that they're really hard to work with and nearly impossible to get parts for. And to be bluntly honest, that's part of what turned me on to the multicab, is that's in that micro style vehicle. But I am actually going to start logging off. That it's been an hour and a half. This is one of my longest live streams ever. And I appreciate the time that you guys do come in and do this. And a lot of you guys are here. Oh, that would have been way cool to see JoJo. And you making a comment a little bit earlier ago, I read the comment but never commented on it. Going up in that northern Georgia area would be some beautiful places. Now the British Leyland made engines for MG for a bit, I think. But yeah, some of the cars that have came in over the years in different countries have been amazing. And some of the different models you can get. Daniel, Canada actually had Mercury branded pickups that you can still find a few of them in the US. I ran across one at a car show, and I really thought somebody had taken a Ford pickup and somehow put a Mercury badge on it. And after talking with him and doing some research, that in Canada you could buy Mercury pickups. A pastor friend of mine that he's big into hot rodding, that he actually took a VW Beetle and managed to cram a small block 350 in a back seat, and had a 350 V8 VW Beetle. Yeah, some of the stuff that people have done over the years. If you're bored on YouTube one night, do a search for Hayabusa smart car. That there's been a fair amount of people that have taken the Hayabusa engine and put it in just about everything, but put them in the smart cars. And so you basically got a freaking golf cart with a Hayabusa engine in it that is just insane. I ran across a video, no real information. It was only about a 2-minute video of somebody driving it, that they show, that they real quickly show what's in under the hood, but they managed to somehow adapt a Hayabusa to an MG midget. And so you've got like a 200 horsepower Hayabusa in an MG midget. And the rest of the video was them just doing stupid crap with that. Not entirely sure I'd want something like that, but yeah, there's been some interesting builds done over the years. But I'm going to get this, and this is part of the reason why I tend to log off so quickly, is I wind up chasing squirrels after I'm trying to log off. I know Leyland Motors for some reason. Jojo, you did that, or seen somebody do that? Again, that would be insane. Again, on YouTube, you can find this one. I can never remember his name. The Home Depot car NASCAR driver. I can't think of his name. He actually had a Boss Hoss dealer in Tennessee put one of the spare engines that they have, the aluminum block 700 horsepower NASCAR, in a Boss Hoss. Again, it's so insane that it's undrivable, but there's been some strange things done. There is a Boss Hoss that was factory made that has a nitrous injected turbocharged Viper V10 on it. There were two or three of them made. That they're like $40,000, $50,000 Boss Hosses, but again, I don't think you could crack that throttle slow enough to not just completely light up the back tire. The Boss Hoss with a 350, it with just a standard stock 350, at any given speed, you can hit that throttle hard and light up the back tire. There's just so much power to those stupid things. To put some of these insane engines in them, I'm not sure you could crack the throttle slow enough to get started. But before we continue down this road too awful long, I would love to continue this discussion next one. I may have to do that, see if I can get some of the old, see what if any footage I can find of me or some of the old cars that I've worked on. But for today, from Tow Chip Compound in Cebu City, Guadalupe, mabuhay.